This washed out photo was very quickly restored using a simple technique that I'm going to share with you in this video. These portraits are backlit by the sun, and it's a technique that I really love to use, but occasionally the problem is the sunlight comes through and enters into our lens, bounces around off all the elements, we get internal reflection, we get light scattering, and ultimately the contrast in our photos pretty much disappears because the darks, shadows, and the blacks all get lifted up as a result. Let me show you what I mean with this flashlight, right? So imagine this is the sun. If I bring this into the frame here, see how I get completely washed out as soon as this goes into the lens. And so most people think that they just need to increase the contrast to fix the photo. And most people are going about it wrong. So let me demonstrate how most people try to correct that contrast, and then I'll show you what I think is the right way to go about it. Here we can see images from a photo shoot I did of a friend of mine, and they're all backlit by the sunshine. Most of them are pretty good, but some are washed out where the sun is coming into the lens, as we discussed. And this particular photo is a prime example. So let me show you what a lot of people will do wrong. They'll reach for the exposure slider and start to drop that, thinking that by bringing the exposure down, they're going to expose the photo properly, but that is not our issue. So we'll reset that and try something else. Another option would be to grab the contrast slider. And if we boost up the contrast, we're definitely getting an improvement. If I look at the before and after, however, it's still not resolving our problem, but maybe a combination of dropping the exposure and the increasing contrast will get us a better result. And yes, it does, but if we look at the histogram, you can clearly see that the furthest point here, which represents our blacks, is still not hitting the bottom part of the histogram, showing us we don't have a pure black point. So let me just reset this and let's try a different approach. Knowing that we need to bring the black point down, well, why don't we go into the black slider and just start to reduce that? Okay, as I do that, you can see that we are starting to reintroduce contrast into the photo and reset the black point appropriately. However, with doing that, we still haven't achieved a true black point. We're still not far enough with that histogram. So again, you might come in and go, well, let's combine that with a drop in exposure. We're still not a pure black. What if we also combine that with an addition of contrast? Well, we're just about there in terms of a full dynamic range, which is a distribution of tonal values all the way from a deepest black all the way to a pure white. However, if we look at the actual photo, it doesn't look good. So again, let me reset that and show you the last method that I see people use that is not the best way to do it before I show you the way that I like to tackle this. And so if we go into the landscape section in Luminar Neo, we find the dehaze slider. And if I boost up dehaze, so we're cutting out a lot of that hazy look from the photo before and after, this actually isn't bad. But again, you can see we're still not at a pure black point. So even if we use this as a starting approach, we would still need to combine that with some other form of adjustment. So for example, if I grab that black slider again and start to bring that down, we're starting to expand the tonal range, which is what we want. But as we push this further and further towards black, those blacks and shadows get too crushed down. So then you might need to boost the shadow slider up to bring a bit more information. And it's a continual balancing act of moving the different sliders around to get your photo from this to this. So now let me show you a much better method. So we'll revert this to its original settings. And now let me show you this very quick correction. So we're going to open up the curves setting here, and this is going to give us access to a point which represents the darkest pixel in our image. And now I'm just going to move this slider over, and as you can see, we start to increase the tonal range as we move this across. We're basically redefining what should be the black point in our photo. Now, to know when we've gone to pure black, we can press the J key on the keyboard, and when we start to hit pure black, we get these warnings. Blue represents that we've gone to pure black, red represents that we've gone to pure white. And so the goal is basically just to set this so that you just start to get a few blue pixels showing up in your image. In this one, I'm not going to worry about the highlights and fixing those. I just wanted to show you how we can redistribute the tonal values in a washed out backlit photo and recreate a full dynamic range. So here's our before and our after, and that only takes a couple of seconds. And now if I go back to the catalog, you can see that that photo that previously looked very washed out now fits in nicely with the rest of the images. Bear in mind, none of these have been edited as yet, and so they're all raw or they all need a bit of work, but you get the idea. In fact, actually, I have edited this one here using that exact technique that I just showed you. If I jump into the edit section and come down to the develop raw, if we look at the before and after, all I've done is drop the highlights down in this one, but the main heavy lifting of the correction is done with that technique that I just showed you before. I just took the furthest left point from the curve here and I just moved it over until we started to see those little blue warnings that say you've now hit pure black. And that is exactly what we want to have a full tonal distribution. So now if I press J and we look at the before and the after, you can see that that is such a quick fix for a photo like that. Now, this type of light leak into your camera lens has a specific name. It's known as a veiling flare. And this is going to be an excellent fix for it, the method that I've just shown you. But if you have highlights that are completely blown out, this method isn't what's going to save you there. And if you're interested to know how you can recover your highlights, I'd strongly recommend that you check out that video right there where I explain a technique that's going to be fantastic for sorting that type of photo out as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.